When I was a kid, we would stick 9-volt batteries on our tongues just because we were bored. Probably good that we didn't have access to lipos.
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chaz, this is CK4RC, and we're going to test out some 2S versus 3S LiPo batteries just to see. We know that it has more volts, but what does it mean performance-wise? I've never really seen it side by side, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use my good old FuryTech FX118X comp from Direct RC, and I'm going to use the stock FuryTech 2S LiPo, 7.4 volt, that means 2S. It does not have the discharge rating on here, but I have to assume it's probably somewhere around 15 or 20 C. That's pretty standard for these mini-size crawler batteries. 600 milliamp, if I did not mention that. And then I'm going to compare that with these new Turnigy batteries from Hobby King. These are 3S, 11.1 volt, 3S, 800 milliamps, so it's a little bit higher with the power inside. And this does say that it is a 20 C discharge rate. So pretty good punch, pretty standard operating procedure in that regard. Now, one thing that I do have to take into consideration is the FuryTech battery has this weird, I think it's called a Molex battery plug with the flat little tabs on there, versus the Turnigy battery has the good old JST plug. Now, the good thing about that is a lot of FuryTech equipment comes with a JST adapter. So I already have that on hand. So I will do that. We're going to get a side-by-side comparison of crawl speed, and we're going to get a side-by-side comparison of top speed. I'm going to weigh the difference between these just to see how much of a difference it makes in weight, because especially on a rig like this where it's a battery on axle, that added weight up front is going to make a difference in performance as well. So let's get into the matrix. I'm going to flip this camera and get the scale out, and then we'll head outside and start doing some side-by-side comparisons. Here we go. Let's get this turned on and centered or zeroed out real quick. There we go. And these battery packs are both fully charged. That way they both are packed with as much power as possible, so the scale will be accurate. I'm just kidding. That's not how that works at all. But let's see. The FuryTech 2S LiPo battery comes in at 30.9 grams. The Turnigy 3S battery comes in at a whopping 64.4. 64.4. So what was the 2S? 64.4. The 2S was 30.8, 30.9. The 3S is over twice as much weight for an extra cell. That is bonkers. That's so crazy. All right, well, let's get out here and get these things tested in some real world conditions now. All right, here we are outside on the CK4RC testing ground, proving ground, trial track. I still don't know what I call this thing. Anyway, I'm not even using the track today. We're just going to use this little pad right here, and we're going to start off with the modulation. So I'm not even going to use the trigger. That way I am not messing this up on my own. I'm going to use the throttle trim until it just starts moving. The slowest possible speed. It's going backwards. That's not which way I want to go. This is on the stock FuryTech 2S battery. That is the slowest crawl. I am not pushing the trigger. Okay, I have the rear wheels in the same exact starting position. Here is, and I think I'm going, no, this one. Okay, that is the slowest speed I can use. Again, not pulling the trigger. So I'm going to see if I can throw these two clips side by side, so that way you can see the difference between these two batteries. honestly, I didn't expect there to be much difference in the slow speed modulation. I expected the higher difference to be in the top speed range. But this is a bit of a surprise to me. So we're just going to let this crawl for just a little bit longer, just so you can see how big of a difference this is actually making. I mean, that is just crazy. Bananas. You know what I mean? Spells bonkers or something like that. We are back on the line with the stock 2S battery, this time lined up for the speed test. Let's give it a shot in 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to punch it on the throttle. Here we go. Not a bad speed at all. Okay, now we're set up for the 3S speed run. Let's see what kind of punch this thing has. Whoa, oh man. You know what? Oh, that's not good. Something just popped out of there. So much for getting to test that anymore. That was actually part of the servo mount. And so steering is going to be a little bit trickier now than it was just a moment ago. So won't be getting to do any of that fun testing, but we will head back inside and wrap up the video. And there we have it. We tested it until darn near the wheels fell off. It's not supposed to be like that, but that's what happened. So the question is, performance-wise, 2S or 3S? And the answer is, it kind of depends, but overall, 3S is the way to go. So the reason I say it depends is because power-wise, the 3S, hands down, I had better low-speed modulation, I had better top speed. The discharge rate was right in line with the 2S, so it's not like this was a race pack with like 125 discharge rate. So very similar, but the low speed modulation and the high speed top end was noticeably better with the 3S. The other thing that is noticeable is the overall weight difference, with the 3S being almost twice as much as this 2S. Now, different battery packs will vary, so let me make that clear, but for my situation with my rig, it is weight up front, so that extra weight on the front axle is not going to be a bad thing. But if your battery tray is towards the rear, if it's high, that is going to be a lot more weight on the back and above your center of gravity where you want it. So that is something to keep in mind. But overall, would I go 2S or 3S? I'm going to go 3S. And these Turnigy 3S packs from Hobby King, they got the job done. So if you want to check these out, I do have an affiliate link down in the description. Check that out. Use all the affiliate links, the discount codes, get cool stuff, save money. That's how it works. And you help support the channel at the same time. Speaking of supporting the channel, hit that quadfecta before you go. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you love everything you're seeing, become a channel member. That's a huge way to support the channel. And you also get perks. So give it some thought. In the meantime, keep doing RC stuff, and I'll see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners, and if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support, click on that join button, and thank you so much to the channel members.